So, I just wanted to pop in here really quickly today to talk a little bit about, my role as a speech and language pathologist and how to be as professional as I can be within my scope of practice. With any professional field, I feel that there are opportunities for us to learn and grow, um, to show empathy, to provide recommendations that may be beyond what we are providing as a service. And I think that that fits for any service model. So, whether it's medical care, therapeutic care, educational care, things like that. And I've been hearing a lot lately of the families that I work with being extremely dissatisfied with some recommendations or the method of providing recommendations that's being given to them, mainly because they are not being heard as a parent, um, which me being a parent, I have definitely been a part of this, even with um, professionals that I admire deeply and greatly, and respect them tremendously. But I feel that sometimes when I voice concerns about my own kids, I feel sometimes they get brushed off. And I really, truly have to advocate for my own family. And I'm lucky to be in a place where I am a speech language pathologist. I work in child development. All of those things provide me with a skill set to be able to know red flags to look for, different things that might be going on that my kids might need further assistance with and help with. Um, so, with that being said, I think it is important to remember empathy is number one. Remembering when we're providing recommendations to families that we first basically read the room. Maybe I'll make a PowerPoint about this, but um because I do feel that this is such an important key thing here in our treatment and having success not only with the child but with the family. Oftentimes with pediatric cases, we're not going to have success with the child until we have success with the family. So I think in taking this customer service point of view, um like pretend you're a cashier at the grocery store and somebody's really fighting with you over the price of the potatoes, like maybe they picked up the wrong potato, whatever's going on, we have to get into our customer service role of not being in people's faces and being rude and being intrusive and overstepping our boundaries as well, which is part of what I'm going to get into here in a moment about reading the room. So, when we think of reading the room, let's just say we're having a first visit with a family. We walk into maybe their home or they walk into your clinic. They sit down and they're probably feeling a little anxious because A, you're a stranger, B, they might not know why they're there 100%. Um, and what's the first thing that you say to this family after your common greetings? I'm sure you say, "Hi, I'm so and so. I'll be your speech therapist." What comes out of your mouth next? Take a minute, reflect on that, because I do feel what you say next could be so important. If you get into, "Hey, let's go over the test results that we had right off the bat." Yes, the family might want that, but let them tell you that. Just oftentimes, even though they might be coming in from already having an evaluation, I still like to ask what the family's goals are. "Hey, I'm Jackie. I'm your speech therapist, and I'm going to be working with you. I really look forward to getting to know you guys." Honestly, one of the first things I say is, "Tell me a little bit about yourself. Tell me what you guys like to do in your daily routines. Tell me what things make your child happy, what kinds of things irritate your child." I kind of get into the getting to know you, almost like I'm on a date or something. Like, just ask those simple questions, getting to know them. I'm also going to be completely open eyed to everything and be accepting to any input that I'm getting from environment, from family and their feelings, their emotions, the child, and all of those same things as well. because I feel that a lot of times, if we come in and we say, "Oh, it looks like from your evaluation, there were some pragmatic language concerns." Pragmatic language concern, even if you go in to describe it, is, concerns about social skills like eye contact. And these parents sometimes, this is the first time they're hearing that someone else thinks that their child has poor eye contact. So sometimes asking these open ended questions as families come in the room, getting to know their interests, getting to know even their concerns. I will often say, "Well, what brings you in here today? Is it physician recommended? Is it you have a paranoid mother in law? Is it, you know, I'm really concerned about my child's speech and language development?" Regardless of the reason, you have to take in what the family's saying, be empathetic, listen, and from there, read the room. If the mom comes in and says, "I'm just really super anxious. I don't really know why I'm here. They told me at their 18-month well visit that they're showing some, aggressive behaviors, and it's probably because they can't communicate. And I don't know what's going on. And, I never noticed that these things were even wrong. Like, I didn't know that my child was doing XYZ, that was something to be mindful of or to watch for." And what I'm hearing is right out of the gate in session number one, without A, knowing the family, B, knowing the child, the therapist is already making recommendations for outside resources. Um, I think if the family asks, that's 110% appropriate. "Hey, I just really want to do all that I can. I'm suspecting that something else developmentally might be going on with my child other than just speech. They didn't pick up on it at maybe if they had like an early intervention evaluation where they did a more cohesive evaluation of development and they only got picked up for speech. But at that point, I might say, yeah, sure. If you're interested in testing, just let me know. I can provide you with the names and the numbers of the people who can help you achieve that." If you're looking for a specific type of physician, like a developmental pediatrician or something like that, I will more than happily provide you with several resources for that type of pediatrician, which developmental pediatricians, I could probably do a whole session on that all by itself. Um, but when the family is acting scared, anxious, nothing's wrong with my kid, they're defensive even, that's not the time to say, "I'm seeing characteristics of autism in your child. You may want to go have an autism evaluation completed." Um, and the worst part is again, just touching on autism. Now that I've said autism, I feel that as a clinician, it is our job to stay in the know about things with autism. Autism is not a bad thing. And I could definitely do about a bajillion episodes, I think, for autism spectrum disorders. But I no longer want to say, and I don't know if this is right or if this is wrong, I don't treat autism. I treat speech and language disorders. I don't want to change your child. Your child is unique and amazing, and they have these awesome skills. And I just, in my opinion, I don't feel right saying that I specialize in autism or I treat autism. Um, I should say specialize in autism treatment because I don't feel that it's something that needs to be cured, as a lot of unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there who do feel that way. And I know that that's a controversial topic, but feel free to leave your comments about that. Um, but anyways, getting back to everything, when you see that you have these like overly emotional parents because they're in the thick of parenting. They might have other children. They have spouses and families who are putting all different types of pressure on them. And all you're doing is coming in and you're putting more pressure on that parent to try and achieve this perfection of parenting, which doesn't exist. Um, In a perfect world, do I want my families to work on speech when they leave the speech clinic or when I'm not working with them? Yes. I want them to go, and I work every day, and I tell them it's like working out and building muscles. You're not going to be able to lift those weights any better if you don't pick them up every single day. You've got to use them or you'll lose them. But that's sometimes not the reality. And that's when we talk about one of the best skills I've learned from early intervention was routine based treatment. If I can come into your life in a routine that makes sense for you and your family, there's way better outcomes from that. And I've seen that happen. Um, when you make things relational to kids, even with school age kids, when things are more relational, number one, they get a good laugh, but they're also interested in learning what it is that you're talking about. I'm digressing a little bit here, but anyway, I did want to just take a few minutes out of everybody's time to just come on here and talk about and remind clinicians, please just be empathetic, read the room. If the family's asking for those recommendations, by all means, provide the resources, provide them with the knowledge that you went to school for and that you earned through years of clinical work, and give that wealth of knowledge. If it's not being asked for, though, don't give it. I will say, if after a certain period of time, the family's still anxious, the family still doesn't seem to be wanting to receive information, I think it's okay to kind of smooth your way into it. Oh, I wonder what would happen if I sat next to Johnny as opposed to right in front of him. Would that make him feel less anxious and more willing to want to interact with me? So that you're using wording and language that's suggesting you're seeing these problems in play without saying Johnny stinks at joint interaction. I mean, come on. This is like simple stuff here. Why are we anyway being offensive to families, I guess? Anyway, just try your hardest to be empathetic, read the room. If the family doesn't seem like they are open or interested in information, probably don't give it until they seem like they're going to be open and receptive. And the best way to achieve that is through trust, which is by doing those things that we already talked about: having empathy, listening, reading the room. All right, that's all I have for today.